What's going on, guys? Today I am super excited to show off one of the best motorcycle dashes that I have ever seen. Now obviously I'm into motorcycling, or else I wouldn't have a motorcycle related YouTube channel, but something else I'm into is tech, and I'm sad to admit that is just one area that the motorcycle market falls short on, especially when you compare it to cars. Recently, I was lucky enough to get this Street Triple as a loaner bike from Triumph, and I wanted to take a deep dive in this video into the dash of the motorcycle because, well, it's awesome and it deserves its own video. Don't worry, I'll be taking the bike out soon for our first ride, and I'll let you guys know exactly what I think about the actual bike. But for today's video, we're going to be checking out the dash. So what we're looking at is a full color TFT screen. Now don't get too caught up with the TFT part. It stands for thin film transfer, which is just a different type of LCD. These are common types of screens for phones, TVs, computer monitors, and many other electronics that we all use on a daily basis. And I think this thing looks absolutely gorgeous. I can honestly say it's the first motorcycle dash that actually looks up to times. Now before we get too deep into the dash, I do need to point out this is a 2018 Triumph Street Triple RS. There's an S, an R, and then you have this RS model. The reason I'm pointing that out is because the RS model has a couple of the options that the S and the R models don't have. But don't worry, I'll be pointing those out as we go along. The first thing I have to touch on is the ease of use. If you've ever jumped on a bike with any sort of updated rider aids, odds are it's super complicated. Now I know there are a few bikes out there that have a simple mode button, but for the vast majority it is far too complicated to simply change the settings on the bike, much less customize rider modes. This is where a joystick and a button come in real handy. Instead of making some combination of buttons you need to press, Triumph just put a 5-way joystick that is used to navigate the menus. There's also a standard mode button along with a home button. Now obviously somebody at Triumph plays video games, because adding this joystick and 2 buttons has made it stupidly simple to change all of the settings you have on this motorcycle. Having a joystick and a few buttons isn't going to make the experience easy though if it wasn't paired with a straightforward UI. As you can see, even without any sort of manual, you can hit the home button and everything is clearly laid out for you. Without any info on the settings at all, I was able to sit here and play around with the bike and discover how everything was done. I dare you to find another bike that makes it this easy to change when your shift light comes on. Now let's take a look at all the different info you have at your fingertips. This model is able to display your trip. It can actually record 2 at a time, your average and instant fuel consumption, your current riding mode that's selected. It can display your style, which I'll get into in a minute. It can display your contrast level along with your service info, coolant temp, as well as a lap timer. Now note, the RS model is the only one that has the lap timer feature. So as far as riding modes, the names are going to sound really familiar. The RS comes with 5 different modes: rain, street, sport, track, and rider. All of these modes can be slightly modified, while the rider mode can be 100% adjusted to fit your personal riding style. Or if you just need a hooligan mode that didn't come standard. The settings you'll be adjusting in each mode is a combination of traction control, ABS, and engine map, which is basically the amount of power that the engine gives you and how it applies that power. Another neat feature with this display is that it includes an ambient light sensor. This actually reads the ambient light and changes the display between the dark setting and the high contrast setting. Like most things on this bike, you can also change it to stay one or the other, or automatically change between them. In my experience, the change isn't instant and takes a couple seconds, but that also helps it from changing like crazy if you're, say, going under many little tunnels and the light keeps changing. So earlier I talked about changing displays. This is one of my favorite things on the bike. The display you're seeing is one of 6 different displays that you can choose from depending on what you like. By default, the rider modes are linked to certain displays that focus the rider's attention on different aspects. For instance, the rain mode uses a display that's more focused on your current speed, while if you put the bike in track mode, it changes the display to one that's more focused on RPMs. You can also obviously select the display you like the most if you don't want it changing when you change your rider modes. Finally, we have the tray. This area can be found at the bottom of the screen and is similar to how on an iPhone or Android you have the apps at the bottom that never move. same situation. This area you can dictate which settings and information you would like to be quickly cycled through using the joystick. For the tray, you have these options that can easily be found in the menu. Here, by simply going over to the item and checking the box on and off, you can choose which ones show up in that area. The menu is super easy to use, but I'm not going to be messing with it while I ride. This gives you the option of making changes on the go easily. And guys, that's about all I've got for the dash on the 2018 Street Triple RS. I think Triumph absolutely blew it out of the park with this thing, and now that they have made something that other motorcycle companies can aspire to, I'm hoping we can all move our old motorcycle dashes into a more tech-friendly area that we are currently living in. Let me know what you guys think about the TFT Dash in the comments down below, and if you have any questions, let me know down there, and I will do my absolute best to get to as many as I possibly can. I'm Chaseontwowheels, and if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, and I will see you on the next one where I actually take the Street Triple for a ride. Later.